Hello, my name is Jessica Holmes, reporting to you live from channel 7654 news station. Today is August 28, 1963. We will be going over to Washington, D.C., where there is a political rally calling for justice for African Americans. This event is being known as the March on Washington. Now over to Marie Watson, who's covering the rally.
Thank you, Jessica. I'm Marie Watson, and I'm here today in Washington, D.C., on the Mall in between the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument. Over 200,000 Americans have gathered here today to witness Mr. Martin Luther King Jr. deliver a speech.
I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Later on, after Mr. King gives his speech, he has agreed to conduct a private interview with the channel 7654 news station. We will be back shortly to speak with Mr. King about his dream. Please enjoy these commercials.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Get the Lord.
Nike cleats, they make you feel cool in your feet.
Hello, and again, I'm Marie Watson, and joining us for an interview today will be Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Hello, Dr. King, how are you today?
Hello, I am good, thank you. I'm happy for the chance to speak with you today.
So tell me, what inspired you to start speaking out for the rights of African Americans everywhere?
Well, I began to have growing concerns about our country. I knew that what was happening around me was not right, so I decided to make my concerns public.
So you are a very talented speaker. When did you acquire this talent?
When I became the Reverend Head of the Southern Christian Leadership, I got a lot of practice speaking.
What was your first speech?
It was called Beyond Vietnam, and I spoke in front of about 3,000 people at the Riverside Church in New York City.
How long have you been speaking about your dream?
I started talking about dreams in 1960.
What gave you the opportunity to speak at the March on Washington?
Well, the president actually asked me to speak. He thought that I would be a good person for the task.
Thank you for speaking with us today. I know how busy you are.
We out.
That was Mr. King. We will now be talking to one of Dr. King's followers named Janet Carson. So Janet, what are your thoughts about the March on Washington?
I think that it is very good. People are finally standing up for the rights of African Americans, and that is amazing.
When did you start following Dr. King?
Well, actually, I first met him when I attended his church.
What impact has Dr. King had on your life?
He inspired me to stand up for my race, and that makes me feel safe.
Thank you, and it was nice having you here today. Now we will be interviewing Mr. Charles Liberty. So, Mr. Liberty, what is your opinion about the March on Washington?
I feel like there's some puke in the back of my mouth from listening to that stupid Negro speak. He should not even be allowed to speak to a group of animals.
If you could say anything to Mr. King about today's rally, what would you say?
I wouldn't say anything to him. I would just beat him up.
Why do you feel this way?
Because they are black. We are white people, and black is different, and different is bad.
Okay, well, our time is up. Thank you for your opinions. Now back to the station, where Holly Jenkins will be giving us the weather.
Hello, my name is Jessica Holmes, reporting to you live from Channel 7654 News Station. Today we will be reporting on an African American boy named Emmit Till, who was brutally murdered and he was only 14 years old. He died last week on August 28, 1955. His mother, Mammy Till, is still mourning his loss. We are going to the Tallahassee River, where his body was found.
Thank you, Jessica. I am here in Mississippi at the Tallahassee River, where a young boy named Emmit Till's body was found early last week. Emmett's mother, Mamie Till, is here today to speak with us about the tragic event. So, Mamie, what was your reaction when the cops told you that Emmit had died?
I was devastated and furious. I never thought that something like this could happen to my boy. He was such a sweet and confident kid who had big dreams. He wanted to be a motorcycle policeman and a pro baseball player.
What made you decide to show other people Emmett's body?
I wanted people to see what kinds of horrible things were happening to African Americans for no reason except the color of his skin. My boy was killed simply because he was blamed for a simple act of whistling that he did not even commit. And I wanted to show people the cruelty that was inflicted upon my boy. He was beaten so badly we could not even recognize him.
If you had the chance to talk to Roy Bryant and J.W. Meehan, what would you say?
I just want to know why. What could Emmett possibly have done that was so horrible that he deserved to die in the way he did? I would ask them if they would have acted differently if Emmett was white.
Thank you for your time, and I'm sorry for your loss. We will now be speaking with a police officer who was on the scene, Mrs. Alexa Kittmer. Hello, Mrs. Kittmer. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
So, Mrs. Kittmer, how was Emmett's body found?
He was found by a local man, and he was found tied to the fan of a cotton gin. He had been tortured so badly and then shot that he was unrecognizable.
Since you said that Emmett's body was unrecognizable, how did they identify that it was him?
He was identified by his uncle, who saw the ring on his finger and knew that it belonged to his father.
How do you feel about what has been done to Emmett?
It's horrible. I think that things like this shouldn't happen. No crime is acceptable, no matter the color of your skin.
Thank you for your time, and have a good day. Now we will be speaking to Money, the man who found Emmett's body. So, Mr. Money, what was your reaction to finding Emmett's body?
I laughed. That's one less nasty Negro running around this world.
Don't you feel bad about the way he was killed?
No, I think that all of them blacks deserve to die. They're dirty and shouldn't be living in the same places as white folk anyway.
If this crime had been towards a white man, how would you have felt then?
I would have been furious because the person who killed that man probably would have been black.
Okay, well, it was nice to have you on the show today. Now, back to the station, where Johnny Parker will be giving us the sports news.
Miss Jessica Home. Start again. Still. Talking about the brutal murder of Emmit Till. He was 14 years old when he. I don't know. I can't read your hand.
I don't know. What happened to my boy? He was such a sweet and confident kid. He had.
It's not funny.
Are we going? Things are happening to African Americans for no reason except I cannot read your handwriting.
No, I think that all of them deserve to die. The person who killed
Him.
He inspired me to stand up for my race, and that makes me feel safe.
Alright, go.
Now back to the station, where Holly Jenkins will be giving us the weather. Now back to the station.
Wait, what am I saying?
I won't say anything.
I won't say anything about just beat his face.
If you could say anything to Mr. King about today's March on Washington.
I feel like there's some puke in the back of my mouth.
So, Mr. Liberty, it was nice having you here. That was what impact has Dr. King had on your life?
Well, actually, I attended his church.
Wasn't right and
Jobs and freedom. Now over to Marie Watson, who is reporting. Miss Jessica Home. Start again. Still. Talking about the brutal murder of Emmit Till. He was 14 years old when he. I don't know. I can't read your hand.
I don't know. What happened to my boy? He was such a sweet and confident kid. He had.
It's not funny.
Are we going? Things are happening to African Americans for no reason except I cannot read your handwriting.
no, I think that all of them deserve to die. The person who killed
Him.